Welcome to Vendée Live on Sunday, the 1st of December, and I hope all those with advent calendars remembered to open the first window. Now, we finished 3 weeks of racing and the fleet has extended, but the people in the tight groups are in really good clusters and the racing is fierce and intense. You're going to have to forgive me today because I've taken today as a little bit of an indulgence, a little bit of nostalgia, because we're having the class of Vendée Globe 2008 reunion. Joining me in the studio is legend Brittany skipper Marc Guillemot, skipper twice of the Vendée Globe and a podium finish in 3rd place in 2008. Now, Marc, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Your first Vendée Globe, you secured the podium, but that last final 1,000 miles was difficult.
Yes, the last part of the Vendée Globe is very difficult because I finished the race without my keel.
Yeah.
And it was difficult, but it was difficult at this moment. But every time during the Vendée Globe, every day, there is something who arrive. So you start with a competition, you want to win. On every time, it's becoming adventure.
Yes, an adventure, yeah.
So it's so great, so extraordinary.
Yeah, to get to any finish line of the Vendée Globe is a success, right?
Yes, sure.
Also joining me today is Thompson, another skipper from the legendary 2008 Vendée Globe race. He is enjoying a trip across the Atlantic towards the sunny climes of Antigua, approximately 1,000 miles to the east of Antigua. And Brian, you finished in 5th place, annoyingly for some. That'd be me, just a few hours behind you. Welcome.
Thank you, Dee. Hello, Marco. Great to be on the show with you both.
How's the trip going, Brian? You look like you're having a really hard time of it.
Oh, yeah, it's very hard. Yeah, I think we are 15 days from the south of France. We went through the Canaries, stopped there and stopped in the Cap Verdes. And now we're sort of in the middle of an 8-day trip from the Cap Verdes over to Antigua on an 80-foot gunboat catamaran. So as you can see, we're doing right now 18 knots and lunch is been be served soon. So very different to the Vendée Globe conditions with freeze-dried and cold weather coming in. But instead of an albatross, we do have an egret that landed on board today and is hitching a ride with us.
Well, life is very different in the Atlantic with Thompson to the days that our skippers are enduring in the Vendée Globe race. In the news today, out in the front of our fleet have hit the roaring 40s. They've moved out of that difficult Agulhas current. They've found some wind, and it's all about positioning themselves for that weather that's coming behind from over their shoulder. But it's been tricky for some. Sam Davies and Paul Meillat on Biatherm talked about being becalmed for hours as they rounded this southern mythical space at the south of Africa. And for some, Paul Meillat particularly, he lost 100 miles. But he took advantage of the calm weather to do some boat repairs, and they're getting ready for that Southern Ocean blow to come. But let's look at Paul's entrance into the Southern Ocean.
On vient de passer le cap de Bonne-Espérance. Voilà, c'était pas dans des conditions comme ça que je pensais le passer. Il n'y a pas de vent depuis 4 heures. Et c'est étonnant parce qu'il y a tous les modèles météo, il n'y a rien qui explique ça. Donc j'espère que ça va revenir. Il n'y a pas de nuages, j'ai pris des images, il n'y a rien de particulier. Voilà. C'est vrai que c'est rare voilà, on est dans l'entrée des 40e, de pouvoir être dehors. Et j'espère que le vent va revenir parce que voilà, le but c'est pas que ce soit sympa, c'est aussi que ça aille vite.
So very different conditions, not what you'd expect when you enter the Southern Ocean and go towards the roaring 40s. Further back in our fleet, we've got the Daggerboard fleet, and it's Antoine Cornic that's struggling with sail issues that he's trying to overcome. But to be honest, Marc, we've had very few issues talked about in the fleet this time. In 2008, you had endless issues. You finished without a keel. You had to stop at New Zealand to repair your mast. Mm-hmm. We had the big disaster that you were part of a rescue team for, which we'll talk about later. But are you surprised that now, at this stage, 3 weeks, we still have 39 boats racing?
Yes, it's it's a nice thing. But you see, before the start, everybody is told about that. The weather is it's good to cross the Gulf de Gascogne. So usually, most of the problem arrive at the start of in 1 or 2 days, first 2 days of the race. And now I touch wood for the Indian Ocean and Pacific Ocean, but the boat, when I have a look on the map on the boat, I think it's there is a problem, but not a big problem on the boat, no. But maybe skipper don't
say.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they're keeping secrets.
Yes, sometimes.
Brian, when you did your race in 2008, you had your own boat building issues to deal with around there. And we call it the war of attrition in 2008. 33 boats started, only 11 boats finished. You got to be impressed at the preparation and how hard these new boats are pushing, right?
Yeah, no, it is very, very impressive indeed. And I'd say a lot of it is down to the change in the rules. So since 2008, all the boats had to have identical one design masts, which they could build slightly over spec. And they have had not too many issues really until these spoilers have upped the ante in terms of the loads. And also one design keel. So on our Vendée, we saw a lot of keel failures and mast failures. So there's less of those. And also I think the equipment and preparation so much better now. People's sails are a lot stronger than they were for our time, as you will well remember. And electronics more reliable, pilots keep the boat more stable, so less likely to broach. And everyone's just, in the last 16 years, fine-tuned everything. But I think the keys, the stronger masts and keels that everyone has.
So reliability being key. And somebody that's having a phenomenal race is British skipper Sam Goodchild. And let's have a look at his position. He's currently lying in 7th position as he enters the Roaring Forties. And this morning, I managed to ask him how things were in the Indian Ocean.
The first day was a bit full on. I had my rudder downline that broke, and then a few squalls with 30 knots and the big sails up, and then massive lulls. And then today we have been in no wind for the whole morning. So I've had, I don't know, 5 to 10 knots all morning, and I've had a bit of a tidy of the boat, a bit of a tech round, a bit of a wander, and the wind has just come in the last 20 minutes. I've got 15 knots now, and I'm on the move again, which is nice.
So are you managing to look after yourself as well as the boat?
I've kept it quite high on the priority list. Speaking to people like you and other people who have done the Vendée before, I realised that it's a priority, and it's when it becomes too late, it's too late. So I've managed to get some good sleep, some good food, and making sure I stay in a good condition, because you kind of feel you're on the edge the whole time. Everything's fine until something goes wrong, and then when something goes wrong, you haven't really got many reserves to tap into to sort it out. So I'm trying to keep on top of it. At the moment, I think I'm doing a fairly good job.
And how do you see the next few days and the options available to you?
The decision whether you want to go round or want to go to the north so it goes south of you, or go to the south so it goes north of you, has to be made today, really. Today, maybe tonight. And that's something that's what's preoccupying us most is how we're going to attack that. And obviously going south is the shorter route, but you're a little bit exposed to being hit by some strong winds. And going north is a long, long way round. So you have to be sure if you go the long way round, it's for a good reason.
Do you feel that you're looking to take less risk, or are you still just pushing hard?
It's the first real decision we've had to make in terms of a safety performance side of things. And I mean, it's my first Vendée. I'm in a great position. I'm really happy to be here, but I don't want to throw it away by some rash decision to try and gain 100 miles. So I'm definitely erring more on the safety side of things, but you don't want to give away 1,000 miles to everyone else for nothing either. So, are you actually enjoying it as well? Is it living up to your expectations? Yeah, I mean, I am actually more than I thought I would. But I've been trying to pretty hard as well. I mean, it's something I've been wanting to do for a long, long time. Been talking about doing for even longer. and so it'd be a shame to have an awful time of it. So I'm trying to enjoy it, and at the moment it's going well. It's not all easy for sure, but it's definitely a pretty unique experience and a special experience. We've got an enormous opportunity to live, so I'm trying to make the best of it, and so far I'm enjoying it, so that's good. We're 3 weeks into 10, so if I can keep that going for 7 more weeks, then we'll have a success.
I've got Brian Thompson with me on the show today. Have you got any messages for him?
I do think of Brian a lot. We did a lot of sailing together, and I followed him through his Vendée 16 years ago when you were doing your Vendée D, and it's funny to be here 16 years later and thinking of how I was looking up to you guys 16 years ago and everything I learned from sailing with you guys. So say hi, and great to think of you two together.
Now, I don't know about you, Brian, but that made me feel quite old when Sam kept reminding us that it was 16 years ago we did that Vendée. But you can't be surprised at his performance to date.
No, not surprised at all. He's really had an amazing career and amazing build-up to this race, and sailed on so many different boats, right from the Figaro, Close One Design Racing, Class 40, Oceanic races, the Multi 50, which was crewed and solo in a trimaran at the same sort of speeds as in the Mocha. And then the Mod 70 sailing that he mentioned he's done with me was really good to just get used to doing high speeds. And then he's gone even faster on the old teams like Soderbo and Spindrift. So he's really all round with the tactics, with the boat preparation, with nav, and with being comfortable going at those kind of speeds. And it was really great to hear it. He sounds really on top form, and he's always very clear-headed and objective about what he needs to do. And he seems to be very realistic about where he is and what he's got to do. Get through the Southern Ocean successfully, in good shape. Not lose too many miles, but keep the boat in one piece, and then there's the whole Atlantic to come back up, and I'm really hoping he can get a podium position in this race.
Yeah, and somebody who is also very upbeat when they're sailing around the world and joining us in our 2008 reunion is skipper Samantha Davies. If we have a look at her position, she's currently in that top 10, just approaching the Cape of Good Hope, entering into that Southern Ocean and a section that she knows is really long. In 2008, she finished just behind Marc Guillemot in fourth place, and ahead of Brian Thompson in 5th place. Sam, we are delighted that you could join us today. How are you? Are you all smiles on Initiative Kerr?
Yeah, I thought I was going to miss the rendezvous because I just had to do a little bit of an unexpected manoeuvre. As you probably know, but I've been sailing with the first lows just coming onto us, and so I've been sailing with 2 furling sails up, my J0 and my fractional, and the breeze built this morning, so I was on the frac and just sending it, and then about an hour ago I heard this flap, 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 flap. I was oh no, and the top of the J0 had unfurled itself. And luckily I caught it in time, but I just had to do a mega maneuver and redeploy everything, refurl everything, and so I just took the time to drop the J0 because I think I'm on the fractional now for a few days.
Well, we're so pleased that you managed to get that timing so good that you could join us today, and it's nice to see you smiling. I was going to say, has the weather got colder? But I think you've been working hard. You've worked up a bit of a sweat.
Yeah, I'm smiling because I saved my sail. It could have gone really messy about an hour ago. It got cold last night. Last night, the sea temperature was down to below 14 degrees. It's pretty humid, but now, because I'm heading northeast at the moment, so I've actually gone into warmer water, and I think we're in the effects of the Guillemot current already, and So it's actually warmed up quite a lot today. Inside the boat, it's 23 degrees, which is, and the sea temperature is 17 and a half. So it's not that cold now. And yeah, I'm absolutely roasting because I've just been maneuvering like a maniac and stacking.
Well, it's definitely warmer than here in Les Sables d'Olonne, for sure. Now, 4 years ago, not to put a dampener on it, but this was quite a critical place in your race that actually ended your race. So are you really kind of pumped up to make the Southern Ocean a good one this year?
Yeah, definitely, and for sure, it's. I'll be really happy once I get past all these current eddies and get properly into the Indian Ocean and the cold water. So yeah, I probably won't sleep very well tonight, for sure. And tomorrow is going to be a bit stressful. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to racing this Southern Ocean properly, and my boat's great, and yeah, I'm looking forward to taking my boat around the Antarctic, and she's a fun boat to sail, and well, if I manage to keep all my sails, it will be good.
Well, so far so good. And today in the studio, I've got Marc Guillemot with me, and he's going to ask you a little question.
Hello, Sam. I'm very happy to see you with a.
Hello, Marco.
Hello. Very happy to see you with a smile like you. And I just want to tell you I'm very impressed by your race with Justine and Clarisse. It's so beautiful, so nice. And a question now. I don't understand why you make some sport. It's to keep your form, or to make energy for electricity, or for the sail. You understand?
Why I've been doing some sport?
Well, I don't understand.
Oh, she's been grinding because she's been sorting her sails out.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
He was just impressed at you being so physical, Sam.
Yeah. No, I just had a. Yeah, I just had a bit of a near miss with a Jenica, so I had to go and rescue it. And all is good, and it's back there now, stacked in the pile of sails on the back of the boat.
Okay, so everything on the boat, it's okay, and for you, physical in the head, because I know it's very difficult for the mental to go fast and to stay in the race.
Yeah, for sure. It's. I was just thinking about that now, because we're just getting our first low pressure coming onto us, and we're going to be riding it for the next week, I guess. And so it's going to be the first kind of stressful moment, trying to find that balance between sailing fast, sailing carefully, not breaking the boat, not breaking the sails, and so right now I was playing, just thinking about how to set up the boat and the different trim and the different sail choices, try and keep the boat going fast, but not too much risk, and not too much stress, because obviously we've got to be able to sleep on the Southern Ocean. So you just have to find that. I guess we'll all be experimenting with that over the next few days, and trying to find out how to get the balance right with our boat.
Well, Sam, you are having a remarkable race. We are loving sharing the journey with you, and your smile is infectious. We were all smiling at the fact that you saved your sails. So keep doing the good job. Thank you for your time and your perfect timing to join the show. And we'll catch up with you soon, I hope.
Yeah, I'm going to go and tidy up the cockpit. It's a complete mess now.
Well, tidy it up and have a nice cup of tea afterwards.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I deserve one.
Next time I speak you in French.
Ciao, ciao. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I think Sam could have chatted to us for a long time there. It was just so lovely to see her smile, and it is infectious. Both Marco and I were just smiling. It's impressive, huh?
I'm very proud to speak to Sam now, because Sam, every time she is hard for her like the other, but the smile every time, the pleasure to sail, to be where she were now.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic.
She genuinely loves
to
it.
transmit to everybody, it's a very nice. Super.
That's cool. An inspiration to all of us. And someone else who's being an inspiration and enjoying his race is our Chinese skipper, Jingkun Xu. Easy for me to say, Jackie, luckily, and I spoke to him earlier to find out how he was getting on and how he was feeling.
I'm feeling great, and I'm currently working my way towards the Cape of Good Hope. Of course, the weather in the next few days is becoming more complicated. The high pressure center is right in the middle of my route, so I have to find a way to avoid the calm zone. This means I will lose some distance to the south to catch a fast moving low pressure system. Anyway, it's a tough truth. My boat is in the excellent condition and has been running perfectly, which makes me very proud.
Are you sailing your own race, or are you looking at the next boat?
Yeah, I have always been sailing at my own pace, doing my best. And of course, I'm also slowly protecting and adjusting my boat to the best condition to face the challenge of the Southern Ocean. If I get the chance to catch up with some boats, why not? Yeah.
And you'll soon be in the Southern Ocean. Are you excited about that?
Yes, there are definitely many storms waiting for us in the Southern Ocean, and this excites me. It also keeps reminding me that sailing there is not easy. I must keep the boat in the best condition and approach the Southern Ocean with great serenity and caution.
Well, someone who's enjoying his sailing and being prepared for what's coming next. So looking at the outlook today of the weather that the fleet are facing, our front runners now are out in front, and they are now positioning themselves for what's coming Wednesday, Thursday next week. Our Sam Goodchild is in this pack, and our Sam Davies was in this pack, the day of the Sams. And this is the Cape of Good Hope, and we can see that they've got this high pressure, light winds, but it's building. The next low is building. And our daggerboard boats are actually riding this cold front down. They've all got breeze now, and you can see the frontal system here that they're going to ride down towards the Cape of Good Hope. Looking a little clearer now at the currents that we were talking about, that Agulhas current is a very warm water, these dark patches of colour, very warm water which changes, makes it very humid and makes the air very unstable, which is why we saw them earlier in the areas of no wind, and then following by the wind filling in again. It's very unstable in this area. These guys are happy. These guys are going to suffer from this, and it's Boris, Clarice and Justine Metro trying to chase down Sam Davies there that are going to suffer today. And then these guys riding in, yet to feel the effects of this wiggly current that affects them. Somebody that describes the conditions with the daggerboard fleet is Fabrice Amadeo. When I spoke to him, and he told me what conditions he was experiencing.
I am sailing with a big Genaker. It's a big sail, 284 meters, and the main sail. We are sailing close to the high pressure, St. Helens high pressure, and a low pressure which is coming. So it's the south of Atlantic, and the wind is coming. The boat is sailing very fast, as you can see, but the waves are okay for the moment, so everything is okay on board.
And are you looking forward to the Southern Ocean?
Yes, I'm looking forward to the south, because it's the big moment, the big part of the Vendée Globe, between Good Hope and Cape Horn. and it's the most difficult part of the Vendée Globe. And in 2 or 3 days, I will be in a low pressure train. Every 2 days, I will have low pressure and a lot of wind.
So looking at the positions today, we've got neck and neck fighting at the front with Charlie and Johan barely letting each other out of their sights. No real change in the runners behind in that close pack. And then this middle pack that are yet to go round the Cape of Good Hope. And then where Fabrice was talking in the Daggerboard fleet, moving up. But it was Seb Marsset that's had the biggest gains of today, gaining places, gaining miles, and we heard from him earlier.
So yes, I'm closest to the other boat than I've been, so that's great news. It's due to sailing on the edge with the masthead spinnaker all day today, last night, quite a lot, with up to 25 knots of wind speed. So one reef in the main and the spinnaker, and it goes really low and quite fast. But it's been challenging for keeping the boat upright all the time. But everything is well. And now I think everyone is going to take his own option and assume his own opinion about how dealing with the Southern Ocean. I think it's more going to be yourself versus how do you want to be in the Southern Ocean rather than yourself versus the other boat. But we're still going to have an eyes on each other for sure. It's really open all the way to Kerguelen or even after. You can play a lot in the ocean and being at the same spot at the same time at the end. So that's going to be really interesting.
So very clear from all the skippers there that this balance of pushing the boat and being prudent and keeping the boat in one piece to get to the end of the race is critical. Brian, what did you say is kind of the underlying factors in how you make that decision, how to push? Are you led by other people or do you have to sail your own race when you're in the Southern Ocean?
It's a good point. Yes, you definitely are watching the speeds of the other boats and wanting to, match them. And often people get into certain rhythm, so that does play into it. But also you've got to look at the big picture, and big picture is definitely to finish the Vendée. Nobody wants to start the race and not finish it. It's one of the big achievements like climbing Mount Everest or something like that. So you want to make sure you finish and not take any undue risks. And down in the Southern Ocean, that's when things can go wrong with squalls, big waves. A boat gets upset, much more load on the boat as well from skipping over waves downwind. So more structural problems potential. So you don't really know where those are lines. You've got to make your own judgment about where the limit is. And if that is matching the other boats all faster, then great. But if you think like everyone is just going too crazily around you, then you might take a sort of prudent approach and wait for better weather. But it's really up to how your equipment's holding up.
Well, we hope that your equipment holds up on the remaining 1,000 miles left to Antigua and enjoy the sunshine. Safe travels, Brian. Thank you so much for joining us on the programme today. And we will, I'm sure, catch up with you soon. Equally, Marc, thank you for joining me in the studio and thank you for speaking English. Big memories of the show.
To be there.
You've been great. And you're actually sailing across the Atlantic tomorrow. So
tomorrow I try to arrive before Brian.
Oh, the race is on.
Be careful. I arrive.
Well, be safe, be secure. And I thank everybody for joining us today. Tomorrow, we will be back. And it's the start of a new week. And we will be checking in with new father Will Harris, because it's a Monday. But also, I've got Charlie Enright from the USA joining us, who is the winning skipper of the ocean race last year. And I'm going to leave you with Alan Rohrer opening the first day of his advent calendar. So don't forget to open yours.
Aujourd'hui, c'est 1er décembre. Du coup, petit calendrier de l'Avent, ça c'est cool, donc je vais ouvrir le premier aujourd'hui. Ça sent les fêtes. Alors, number one. J'adore les cadeaux. là 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 là, mais il y a de la décoration de Noël. Et c'est parti. Allez, gommette. Ça va finir là, hein. Allez, c'est parti.